It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is December the 4th of 2023. My name is Tony Maribel. I'll be acting as chair today. Members of the panel today are Ms. Pearl Wise and Mr. Pete Freeman. I'm going to ask our support staff located here at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge to introduce themselves.
Carla Williams.
Thank you. Our remote location this morning is at Wade Correctional Center. I'm going to ask the staff there, please, to introduce themselves.
Good morning, Michelle Dozot Warden.
Danny Henshaw, classification.
Crystal Samuel, classification.
And Colonel Malcolm.
Thank you. Good morning, Warden Dozat. This is my first time, I think, to be with you. So welcome aboard. We look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you. Good morning to you as well.
We're going to ready for our first case. Our first case is going to be Mr. Cornelius Goldston. Mr. Goldston, would you please give us your full name and DOC number?
My name is Cornelius Goldston, 386960.
Mr. Goldston, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow those persons who wish to have input to speak. Currently, today on your behalf is Ms. Delia Jackson, who is your cousin, will be speaking. Paige Lockett, who is your cousin and will be speaking. Jimmy Anderson, who is your uncle and will be speaking. Not speaking, but here in support of you is Rashad Lee, also a cousin. Shanta Jackson, also a cousin. And Autasha Lee, who is also a cousin. In opposition, we have Enemyofthestatev's Green, who also will be speaking. Do you understand our process?
Yes, sir.
This is the matter of Cornelius Goldston, DOC number 386960. Mr. Goldston's date of birth is February the 19th of 1979. He's a third felony offender. He has a parole eligibility date of February the 19th of 2024, a good term date of adjusted good term date of 4/3/2058, and a full term date of September the 28th of 2060. He is currently serving a 60-year sentence for 3 separate armed robberies, one of which he was adjudicated a habitual offender, unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling, and theft. Does that sound fairly accurate, Mr. Goldston?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Goldston, your case has been initially assigned to Ms. Pearl Wise. She will begin our interview process. Would you please answer any questions she might have?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning,
How's it going?
ma'am.
How is it going for you?
It's going good, ma'am.
Good, good. Is this your first hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay, good. I look at your record. Call out for the record how long you served on these charges.
I've been incarcerated 23 years and 2 months.
3 years and 2 months. And how old were you when you committed these offenses?
I was 21.
Age 21. And today you are
44.
44 years of age. Okay. You got good programs. You got 465 days of programming. So you've really been busy.
Yes, ma'am.
Call out for us the top 3 programs that you took that really made a difference in who you are today.
The top 3 programs that you took and how they made a difference in who you are today.
Substance abuse.
Okay.
Anger management, victim awareness, and reentries.
Good. Okay. What did you learn in substance abuse that you didn't already know?
Nervous.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, let me just talk a minute and we just come back to that. As a part of this process, we are looking ahead, but we also kind of look back. When I look at your history on supervision, because you're a third offender, well, first of all, the records show you have 1 child. Tell us about your child.
My son's name is Terrence Tino. He's 26 years of age. He's from Natchitoches, Louisiana.
You have a relationship with him?
No, ma'am.
I understand. That's the only child you have.
Yes, ma'am.
But you are young and he's young, so y'all got time to build that.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't have a juvenile record. I thought that was interesting. You don't have a juvenile record.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what happened at 21 to make you start committing crimes?
I was abusive to cocaine.
Okay.
And growing up in that type of environment, that's the only thing that I ever knew that I was surrounded by, because my parents done it, my uncle, my aunt, pretty much everybody in my family was drug addicts. And that's what I turned to.
But you know, there's another side of the coin. Said everybody in my family was drug addicts, so I didn't touch drugs. But for some reason, everybody in your family was drug addicts, so you became one. It's, you know. So let me go and talk about your supervision history. When you were on supervision in 98, you absconded from April of 98 to November of 98. And then you were out again on supervision. You absconded from April 2000 to September of 2000. And then you got released in 2001, 8/12 of 2001. You got a new conviction, 8/21, 2001. You see where I'm going here with this?
Yes, ma'am.
But what's going to be different this time?
I was young. I was stupid. I was into the streets. Just, had a third grade education at the time, and just I thought streets was the way of life, and it wasn't.
Yeah, right. So how much education do you have now?
I have more than what I had.
What do you have?
I have my GED and all the multiple programs that I completed since I've been here at David Wade.
Yeah, you do. Because you have, like I said, 465 days of programs, so you got some good programs.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
now can you tell me what you learned in substance abuse?
When I learned in substance abuse, in order for me to be successful upon my release, I must be honest with myself and surround myself with positive people.
Yeah. So what's your sobriety plan? If you release today, what's your sobriety plan? How you gonna stay clean and sober?
I would definitely continue to go to programs, NAAA.
Okay. How often would you go?
At least twice a week.
What else would you do to stay clean and sober?
I would spend a lot of time with my grandkids and my family.
Your son got kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you don't have a relationship with him? You think you have a relationship with his kids?
I definitely gonna have a relationship with him because my sister have a relationship with him.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's great. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Okay, good. Okay. What else would you do? That's two things. You spend time with your grandkids. You go to AA meetings 2 times a week. What else would you do to stay clean and sober?
And I'll be working in the oil field. My uncle, who will be speaking for me this morning.
Okay. Got your job. Okay. You so you said, so you what age did you start using drugs?
I was 14.
But you managed to stay out of trouble as you don't have a juvenile record, so that's interesting. To 21. What did you start using at 14?
Cocaine.
What?
It was
That's
cocaine.
unusual.
It was my auntie who started me.
Okay. I'm done. Oh well. Because when I look at your criminal history, you just kind of went on a crime spree in 2000, June of 2000, August of 2000. Yeah, and you committed 2 offenses, August the 10th and August the 2nd and August the 10th. I think Ms. Green is here to speak on the August the 2nd incident. But what I'm concerned about is stealing from your grandmother's purse.
Yes, ma'am. I was
Help me with that.
I was down. I was totally down bad for it. I was a junkie, and I had no money, and that was something I shouldn't have never did.
And she's gone on now, isn't she?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever get to pay her back?
Yes, ma'am.
You did? You paid her back?
Yes, ma'am.
That's good to hear. Did you ever apologize?
I apologize. She was in the hospital.
She had forgiven you, I know, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Cause I think somebody, one of her relatives, they made a report that said she was shaking. She was so upset. She was so upset because of the,
Because she didn't want to raise me. She was
wow. Yeah. Yeah. So what did you say to yourself after you did that?
I hated myself for a long time. For a long time. She had been forgave me.
What
I
good?
just didn't forgive myself for it.
Have you forgiven yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
I would want to state for the record, all law enforcement is opposed to your early release. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm just putting on the record because we get their opinion. And what I saw, tell us your residence plan. If you're successful today, where would you live? How would you, we know how you're gonna support yourself. Where would you live?
I'll be living with my little sister, Trinace Ghostin Jones.
And the job with your uncle, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And let's talk about your disciplinary history. You've been down, you said 22 years, and you've had 54 write-ups, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And your last one, it was 12/8 of 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what that one was about?
Yes, ma'am. It was during the pandemic, and they the way issued all us face masks, and I had wrote Black Lives Matter on my mask, and that's what I got written up for.
Oh, okay. Because before that, you had 1 in 19, and then you had 2 in 18. So your write-ups had started. They had started to taper off as you get older. But and you as your supervision, I think you were revoked one time.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you for answering my questions. Oh yeah, and I did see the letter from your cousin, Miss Yolanda. Very positive, very upbeat. And you are blessed to have that kind of support in your corner. And then your progress report said that you were doing well. I think you were rated as well in your progress report. And I also want to stay on the record that one of your victims suffers from PTSD because of your crime. What do you say to that?
My prayers go out to him. And I knew this guy. Me and him had a relationship with each other, and for me to do that to him, I was wrong. I was all the way wrong, and it should have never happened. And I regret that it happened. And my prayers goes out to him because I've been knowing him. I shouldn't have never did that to him. I would do whatever it takes.
But you hadn't thought about anything, nothing, is lingering in your mind about what you think you would do to help the community since you walked that road. That's okay. If you don't have anything to worry about,
I would definitely try to make a positive impact on the community. Definitely.
Would church be a part of your lifestyle?
Of course. Of course.
How often would you go?
I would go to church every Sunday.
Well, you're gonna be offshore, huh? You're gonna be working offshore whenever you're on shore, huh? Is it?
No, I'm working the oil field in Shreveport. It's off on Uri Drive. It's just Monday to Friday.
Oh, great. Okay, great. Okay, great. I'm glad you cleared that up for me. Great. All right. Thank you for answering my questions. Warden, what can you share with us about Mr. Golston?
Mr. Golston is a very quiet individual. He keeps to himself. He's very respectful with staff. That's one thing that I can say. We were able to visit for a good while on Friday, and he does have a solid plan and some family support. He's completed the programming that we have here, that we've offered here, and he does receive high marks from his supervisor in his job. He's been a dorm orderly for about 3 months now, and he gets along well with other inmates as well as staff. So, he's doing well here.
Yeah. Thank you, Warden. That's all I had, Jim.
Now we hear from your supporters. Let's hear from Miss Delia Jackson. Ms. Jackson.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Jackson. How are you?
All right. How you doing?
Very well. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know about your cousin.
I was kind of raised up with him. My grandma raised me and my sister and him together. And Cornelius was her baby. Even though he did that to her, she loved him very much. And she did forgive him. And she wanted to see him out before she passed, but she didn't get to see him. I think after 20-something years, he did get on drugs. And I guess when he got about 19, maybe 20, it got real bad for him on it. And he started committing crimes. I think, no, but after 20-something years, I believe he's reformed. And we just want him home because his mother passed, my grandmother passed, his sister, his next to oldest sister, she passed away. His son was small when he went to jail. So, and he do have 2 grandchildren now. And we just want to see him home and to help him better himself, keep bettering himself, to do better out here.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jackson. We appreciate your comments. Next, we'll hear from Paige Lockett.
Hello, how are you?
Good morning, Ms. Lockett. Would you please introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know about your cousin?
Hi, yes, my name is Paige Lockett. He's my cousin. We were thick as thieves when we were growing up. It's 3 of us that were all born in the same year from 3 different sisters. So we were really, really close growing up. As we got older, we kind of ventured off. We tried to, stay together, but I feel like if we would have continued to be together and continued to be raised like we were, that he wouldn't have been on this path. And sometimes I feel like, we could have done more, we could have done better because we were brought up in that environment with drugs and everything. And like you said, some of us said, no, we're not going to be in that environment because we saw what it did to our family and how it broke our family apart. And he was unfortunate not to continue to be with us and venture off on the wrong side. So he's a good person. He has a good heart. He's loving, he's kind. He messed up. We know that he messed up, but we know that if y'all let him leave, that we will be there for him no matter what. We have his back. So whatever he needs, we'll be there. I no longer live in Louisiana, but I come out there very, very often. I have 2 boys of my own, and I wanted to get them away from their environment, so we decided to leave. But we come back all the time. My mom passed away, his grandmother, his mom, his sister, his uncle, some more of his aunts, they all passed away. And he didn't get a chance to see them or talk to them before that happened. The only funeral he was able to go to was our grandmother. But we know that he has changed. He come from a good place. He is remorseful for what he did. And I know that there are programs out there that he would continue to go to, that we would strive to help him get there if y'all would just give him a chance.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lockett. We appreciate your comments. Now we hear from your uncle, Mr. Jimmy Anderson. Mr. Anderson? Mr. Anderson, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Are you Mr. Anderson? I think your microphone is on mute. If you'll unmute your microphone so we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can. Thank you. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know about your nephew.
Yes, my name is Jimmy Anderson. He's been gone a long time. He's a good-hearted person. As he was growing up, he was a good kid, but drugs took over his life. He got on drugs. I used to talk to him, and he would tell me, I'm straightening up. I'm straightening my life up. But it was too late. He got involved with the wrong crowd. And like I said, when he was coming up younger, he never did get in no trouble. But the drug just took him over. But if he come home, I have a job lined up for him. And I am in church, and I will have him in church with me. I mean, like I said, we never had no problems when he was younger. But the drug just took control his life. And like I say, we all miss him. We need him home. He have grandkids. He have cousins, nieces and nephews. Never met him. And I think it'd be a good start for him when he come home. And I have him lined up with a job and make sure he get in church.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Appreciate your comments. Now we'll hear from the opposition. Enemyofthe's Green.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, I was really conflicted about this whole situation, man. It's been a long time. And it was a very, very serious crime that was committed to me. And I was very conflicted as I grow older and become more conservative. My main concern here is rehabilitation, also remorse, also maturation. And I've seen all those things today. So I don't think in my heart of hearts that I can oppose him. And I would gladly offer my suggestion for his release.
Thank you.
Mr. Green, that's remarkable compassion that you've shown. And we appreciate your watching what we did, and obviously very, very attentive. And we do appreciate your comments. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Golston, is there anything you'd like to say before the board votes?
First of all, I want to thank God and y'all for giving me this opportunity. I've been incarcerated half of my life. I am definitely a changed man. If y'all just give me this chance to be reunited with my family, y'all never see me again. Never. And I am truly, truly sorry and remorseful for the crime that I committed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Panel ready to vote?
Yes, yes. All right, Mr. Golden, did you hear what Mr. Green said?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I did too. I did too. And I'm glad that he saw the things that he looked for was the same three things that this panel looked for, that I looked for. So my vote is going to be to grant. Based on your good programming, the warnings comment, your community and family support that's here today, and the work that you've done. I was a little concerned about the write-up in 2020, but I am overall, I believe you're ready. I believe you demonstrated you're ready. As the special conditions, I would like for you to undergo a substance abuse evaluation when you get out. Get plugged into treatment and let the professionals tell you what you need to do. Just go in and be honest, because you're gonna need to talk to somebody. 20 years is a long time. Your family love you, but they don't know what you've been through in your life. And you've got to have somebody who can help you put that on the table and process all of that. So definitely go to a substance abuse counseling or general counseling. Because of your poor supervision history, I want you to report weekly to probation parole for the first 60 days and be subject to random drug screens. And the AANA meetings 3 times a week.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
That's all.
No.
That was it, sir. That was it.
Thank you, Ms. Wise. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, I also agree with Ms. Wise. You've taken good classes. The wardens had good comments about you. I agree that you should get an evaluation and go to at least 3 AA meetings a week. Curfew from 10 to 6. And I want to thank that victim for sharing that information with us. It made a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Golston, you have 2 votes to grant your parole. My vote is likewise the same. Your parole has been granted. Your conditions will be that you need to get a substance abuse evaluation. Once you are released, you are to follow their recommendations. But in addition to that, go to at least 3 AA meetings per week. You're to have random drug screens. And for the first 60 days, you are to go report weekly to your parole supervisor. And you're to have a curfew between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Good luck to you, sir.
That's it. Thank y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm about to go home.
There, we'll be adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Coming on, partner.
Thank y'all so much.
God bless y'all.